What's going on, guys? It's Eric again, back with another video. Want to talk about the Rams and the Lions today. The Rams beat the Lions 41-34. And by the sound of my voice, I'm kind of not very happy with what transpired in LA the other day, tonight, which is tonight, but you're going to see this tomorrow. Today is December 14th of 2025, and I'll admit I'm kind of going to be all over the place again, kind of like I was in the Sharon Moore video, so I guess just buckle up. Very winnable game today by Detroit. Just, I don't know well, I know what the problems are. Let's put it that way. I just don't, I don't think the team or the coaches realize the talent level that is on the team right now. Offense seems to be okay. They're good enough to win. They scored 34 points today against a pretty good. I don't want to say the Rams defense was great by any means, but they scored 34 points. And when you score 34 points on an opponent, which is the number one defense, or not number one defense, excuse me, the number one team in the conference right now, right along there with the Chicago Bears, which great job to Ben Johnson over there. It kind of means something. Today was a totally winnable game for Detroit. If the defense would have, or if the offense would have been out there. No, the reason I say the offense needed to be out there the three times is in the second quarter where they went 3 and out 3 times. I don't think they even had positive yards rushing for the three and outs that they had. I think it was right at the end of the third and beginning of the fourth quarter where they punted. I think they had -2 yards in those three and outs that they had. One was 5, one was -12, and I think another one was 4 yards, -2 yards. That is where Matthew Stafford took over the game for Detroit, for the LA Rams, and tore them up. First half was a kind of totally different story. I mean, you had him trading touchdowns here for a little bit, and the defense seemed pretty good right there. It was those three and outs where they just couldn't catch their breath, and they kind of had to go right back out there onto the field and try to make a miracle happen. And it just didn't happen today. And it's clear that we need help on the defensive end of the ball. Regardless, I'm going to get into the officiating here shortly, but the defense is clear that it needs help there. The injuries are mounting up again. They seem to be kind of right up there, kind of where we were last year. I kind of think this is where we really should have been at last year, was 8-6, right around there, right on the 500 mark. Right around the 500 mark is where we should have been last year, but it ended up us being 15-2. But anyway, the defense needs help. The only part that doesn't need help is the linebackers. The linebackers, they're trying their damnedest out there, but even they seem to be out of position. There was a lot of out of positions today, getting gashed there, especially at the end of the game, where I think the defense was gassed a little bit. They tried to get a 3 and out, and they just couldn't do it because they were so gassed. Those three and outs did it in for the team today. And Shepard kind of needs to know what his talent level is here. He needs to help the players out here a little bit. You can't play this man defense with the team that we've got out there. Even with the starters out there, I don't really think you can play a majority man defense. You're going to get burned too many times. Oh, here you got to throw in some zone every once in a while, which the Lions did today. But with the talent level out there was huge gaps in there where Stafford could just pick you apart all day. And we all know Matthew Stafford could pick us apart. We know he was here for 12 seasons. So I don't understand why people. I don't understand why Detroit doesn't already know that, and Brad Holmes doesn't already know that. I granted he wasn't here when Matthew Stafford was here, but still, just seems to be something that is just dumbfounded by the Lions organization right now. Hell, you could have even asked Chris Spielman. He would have told you, and he's one of the special assistants over there. I mean, for Christ's sakes. Kind of Dan Campbell. I don't want to sit here and dog on Dan Campbell here too much here, guys, because his play calling is suspect here at times, especially that 3rd and 11 there, towards right at the end of the game. What are you doing giving Gibbs the ball on a 3rd and 11? That's a passing play. Any any person, hell, even the fans in the stands know that's a passing play, and you want to run it with Gibbs on 3rd and 11, and he just gets overwhelmed and tackled on it? What the hell are you doing? It's things like that that frustrate me. Frustrate. And I kind of want to get here to the officiating here. This is the big thing here that's really kind of pisses me off here about. And I know we're not supposed to call, Lions fans are not supposed to talk about this. Hell, any real fan ain't supposed to talk about it because it just happens and the officiating gets calls wrong. But when you go number one this season, the Kansas City Chiefs had 0 penalties called, and in this game you only had 1, and that was 3 minutes right at the end of the game. You had a flag for pass interference. Something's up. Something is up. There ain't no way you had 1 tackle or 1 penalty on there. There was holds all over the place, pass interferences all over the place. Then you had the call that was a touchdown that clearly wasn't a touchdown. At best, it was 1st and goal at the 1.5 yard line at best. And your officiating crew and even the New York crew couldn't get that done. Couldn't see that he bobbled the ball. Come on, I often wonder who is actually officiating these games. Is it you got the sports betting part in here? A big part of the fan base says Vegas is a part of this. Vegas doesn't want to see anything kind of go wrong here. They want their money. Are they? I mean, I hope it's not that, but it just seems like humans don't use their eyes and their brains to know that that's not a touchdown or that's not that's not a completed pass, or the knee went down at the 1 yard line. It's that kind of stuff that really infuriates me as a fan, and it infuriates a hell of a lot of other people as fans. And it happens all over the NFL. That's the thing, and it seems to happen. It seems to happen more to Detroit than it does any other franchise, and that's what really pisses me off here about this. And I know it's not going to change, because nothing ever changes, because Roger Goodell just doesn't want to address it for whatever reason. Probably because of this. Too much money coming in, and he doesn't want to upset that. So, anyway, I'll get off that soapbox now. Anyway, Lions are not making the playoffs. Yeah, they're still mathematically in it. They make it playoffs. There's too much going on here, guys. The Bears are too good. I think the Bears... we lose to the Bears. I think that team is right now a well-oiled machine with Ben Johnson. I didn't think it would be like that, but they've came quite a ways from last season. We're going to lose to them. And I think we're going to lose. I think the Steelers we win at. I'm not real big confident on that, but we say that we are. And I don't know who the last game is. Let me see who the last game is here. You have the Minnesota Vikings, to which... who knows? They've been eliminated from the playoffs, but I'm watching J.J. McCarthy right now in the Dallas Cowboys, and he doesn't look all that bad. And you still got Justin Jefferson to really kind of compete with. You would think it'd be a win, but who knows? With our defense the way it is and how it's in shambles, who knows how this team's going to be? I think win, loss, which would be 9, 10, and 7. 10 and 7. Doesn't get you in. I think Tampa or Carolina, one of those two teams are kind of jockeying back and forth. They'll get in. So there's 2 right there. You have LA, which will probably get the number 1 seed. And you have Chicago that probably is going to win the division. And you got Tampa Bay, and you got Green Bay in there, in Seattle. There's no other spots. I don't think it just isn't mathematically ready for the Detroit Lions. And I think, and I'll address this at the end of the season, but I'll hint to it. I think that's probably a good idea. The Lions don't make the playoffs. That way they can kind of take a step back, kind of assess what they got, take a little bit 3-4 more weeks to assess what they got, and to make good choices. Brad Holmes needs to do better. Dan Campbell needs to do better. He is not an offensive coordinator or an offensive play caller. It's clear now, granted, he did okay, but he's not a play caller. You need to leave that up to the offensive coordinator. And it's clear Johnny Morton is not that person. Now, why Johnny Morton's still on the team, I don't know. I don't why. That's for that team to do. I don't understand why he's still in the position that he's in. Maybe it's just to fill it till it's done. I don't know. But there's big problems here in Detroit, and if it doesn't get addressed, we're going to be right back down in the cellar, kind of where we feel at home at. Detroit Lions fans kind of feel at home at. The same old linesman here is going to crop right back in, and you'll have people saying, "Hey, this is where Detroit needs to be, sub 500 team, not making the playoffs." Just kind of seems to where we're at here. The big thing is Brad Holmes needs to do much, much better in his free agency acquisitions and to get rid of players that don't fit or simply just don't want to play, like Pascal and Davenport. Get those two fucking out of here. I don't understand why he continues to have them here. That would be 2 additions by subtractions right there. And you can do much more with the roster. I don't care if it's an accelerated dead money contract situation. Get them out. Because it'll help you in the long run. Okay? Even though some meager years might happen, it'll help you in the long run. And I don't know why he just continues to have Davenport on this team who doesn't play. He's leeching. Pascal, it's kind of the same way. Even though he played 22 games here, I didn't see him on the field today, but he may have been on there. Need offensive line help. Need defensive line help. Need secondary help. I think you need more veterans in that part. We'll have to wait and see. Frustrating to see because this was a very winnable game by the Lions. Matthew Stafford, as I said, would tear us up. It just didn't happen until the second half. And those 3 and outs and the negative 2 yards, I think it was negative 2 yards, screwed us and got us into the situation we were at. It was a game up until that point. Guys, let me know what you guys think right down there in the comments. I know I'm kind of heated and I'm probably not thinking quite straight. You'll see this here Monday morning. Let me know what you guys think right down there in the comments. Also, hit that like button. We kind of get this pushed out to people. Would like to see this channel kind of grow and grow and grow. And guys, also make sure you hit that subscribe button so you guys get more videos just like this one. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoy this video. Hope to see you guys again soon. Deuces. Take care guys.